Hello everyone, my name is Kolombamwa and I'm very happy to have you today in our Heroes in Health. You know, it's the right show to know every single details about our heroes' actions, and today we have somebody special to introduce to you, so please be comfortably seated and let's start quickly. She is an experienced senior public health and clinical laboratory advisor with a demonstrated history of working in government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and the private management industry. So please welcome with me, Professor Issata WURRIE. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
We're very happy to have you today.
I'm privileged to be here.
And I'm so inquisitive to discover a lot because I know you're going to tell us everything.
I'll try. I'm so old that it might be too much, but I'll try as best as possible.
We have time for this, so it's okay. So please, and Professor, let's start from school. Tell me, yeah.
From school,
Yeah.
I went to a primary school. It was a private school,
Okay.
years back. And then I went to a Catholic school, a Catholic boarding school, up to my O-levels. And then for sixth form, I went to UK.
Wow, okay.
So I went into the UK. That's where I did my sixth form in sciences, and I also did my first degree and my master's degree and my PhD in the UK. So that's how my educational journey started.
Okay.
And
so you had a degree in?
My first degree was in biomedical sciences.
Okay.
And then I have a postgraduate certificate in clinical chemistry. And I have a master's in virology. And my PhD is in viral epidemiology.
Wow, I can see you so full, you know. But it's very interesting because as we can see your journey, I think you have something to tell us about before your arrival in the Federation, but your own visions, I mean, your own project and plans in life.
My project and plan has been in one direction: to improve healthcare through diagnosis. And I'm somewhat of an introvert. I like investigation.
Wow.
So my field is investigative medicine, to see what's behind the patient, what's within the patient, or what's in the patient that have been sent in to me. I'm not so very good at the communication directly with the patient because that's not my calling. My calling is to be able to analyze the patient's body fluids and find out what is there that is supposed to be there or that is not supposed to be there.
Okay.
What level it is, what does it tell me, what's the picture of that patient that it gives to me. And now it's even increased that we go down to molecular level to find out exactly what is in that genetic material that's the makeup of the patient.
Okay.
So that's that has been my goal, investigation towards diagnosis for improved health.
So is it within biological studies or which studies?
It's within the whole science field.
Okay.
I mean, it's in investigative science. It's
Okay.
in research,
Okay.
but it's all towards the human, finding out the anomalies that you can be able to assess, the disruption in the chemistry of the body of the person.
So what happened directly after school?
When you say school, sometimes, is it after university?
Yes.
Okay. Directly after university, after my master's, I had a break and I got married. I've been married for 39 years.
Wow.
Next year will be my 40th year of marriage. And I have 3 children, but 2 others that are 3 biological, but 2 others that I raised. So my total children is 5. And I spent years bringing up my children. I took a career break to bring them up.
Wow.
And after masters. And
how many years like this?
Well, working and looking after them, you're talking about a total of about 10 years. Yes, a total of about 10 years. But in between those years, we had a war in my country, which we had to travel. Once came back, and then the war escalated, and we traveled the second time with the children. And so once you're moving around with children, your focus has to be them, because you're trying to restructure them and try to take away the disruption that has been caused by the frequent movement, changing of friends, changing of schools.
Yes.
So you have to be there that's your investment in them. That's your, I don't want to say sacrifice because that's your role as a mother, but that's your investment that you take, and you use it to ensure that you plot your path for your children, not to their end, but to make sure you give them the guidance that they will be used following their formative years to use it as their platform for living.
Okay. So after the 10 years, you felt that that was the right moment to start working?
Yeah, well, when I was doing the 10 year, I did not stop learning. Okay. I have so many certificates that I did, postgraduate, online, online certificate, part-time courses that do not disrupt. As I said, my primary focus, for instance, when I'm in England, you have to make sure you're there before they go to school. You make sure they're there when you come back from school. So courses that I would do would be courses that would take me the free time between them going to school and them coming back. And whatever job that I would take in terms of consultancy, in terms of writing papers, in terms of reviewing documents and all of that would be within those time. Because when they come home, I am theirs 100%. So that's what I did. And so during that time, I did courses. That's when I did my clinical chemistry postgraduate certificate. That's when I did my quality management system postgraduate diploma and certificate in all the various universities in England. So that's how I progressed.
I'm very astonished, and I really want to congratulate you, because what I know about women, it's very difficult to combine work, and also the household workplaces, work, so it's very difficult. But now, when did you step into that matter of healthcare federation?
First of all, let me take you back to my PhD days.
Okay.
My PhD days, I had a very young daughter. My daughter was young, about 5, 6 years. So she became my inspiration in terms of how do I look after this girl to make that person a woman, to make that person, to make her, to understand that a woman has a dual role to play. You have to navigate between family life, you have to navigate with your profession, you have to navigate with society and all of that. So during that time, whenever I would go for my practicals, my daughter would be with me. I'd travel with her all over the world when I go to seminars and consultancies and workshops.
How old was she?
She was about 5.
Okay.
In fact, I started traveling with her when she was breastfeeding. I breastfed her for 2 years, giving me time not to bother to take around bottles or anything. But I had started some of mini consultancies, very short-term consultancies at that point in time. But one of my criteria is my daughter comes with me. And that has been possible. And I've met good mentors that have allowed it for my daughters to be around. And so during all those times, the inspiration was I have to let her understand what I'm doing. In between my studies, I would leave everything. We go to the park, like during the day, and then I'll come back. I'll be on my computer. She'll be on a book, and she'll be doing her drawings and all of that. So she was like, I had a life that I was looking after, that I was investing in. And so she inspired me to that. I have to complete. She has to see me to understand that whenever you take up something, you have to complete it. But not only its completion, but the completion that you take is with quality. And one other thing that has been the center of my life is my religion. I practice my religion. I believe in my religion. I study my religion. So it has been a center. So I had been doing that with my daughter. And by the grace of God, I've had a husband that supports me in terms of my career. During the war, we had to be apart because he was in government, so she has to be close to the government. But I had to go to England, I had to go to Gambia, I had to go to Guinea. That's how we moved with my children. So that my time was negotiating. How do I make sure that I give my all to my children? These are young lives that I'm bringing up. But at the same time, how do I also sustain myself as a person within my marriage?
Yes.
And also at the same time, educational, what does it mean to me in terms of my progress in what I want to do as my career progression? So these are the way that I juggled it after.
Just into bracket, doesn't she want to become a doctor?
The journey where she started.
Okay.
And then halfway through, after her first year as a biomedical scientist, she changed to law. So now she's a corporate lawyer in the Emirate.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a corporate lawyer.
Oh, beautiful.
It's only my first son and my other daughter that become doctors.
Okay.
And then in the middle, I have a son who's an engineer, a petroleum engineer. He's in Mozambique.
Okay.
So that's my life.
D'accord. Are you still a lecturer?
I'm Dean of the Faculty of Laboratory Medicine and Diagnostics. And my husband is also into education. I mean, he's a scientist too. He's an industrial scientist, industrial chemist. So we blended well in terms of how we bring up our children. We did not force them into sciences, but maybe because we're speaking a lot of science language at home, maybe they picked up in that area. But as I say, my daughter deviated and went into law because she wanted to do, since she was young, she said she wanted to do medical ethics.
Okay.
When she was young, she said she wanted to look at people out there in the street, they're sick, the waiting time is long. She always had that with her when I take her around. So how do people have rights? She was always into that one. And then she moved into law. And then that's how she transferred from sciences into full-fledged lawyer.
All right, thank you. What about you? How did you get to the Federation now, to Sierra Leone Federation?
Okay, it was floated around that we need public-private partnership. Myself and my husband, we co-founded a business, which is a Ramsey Medical Laboratories in Sierra Leone. And it's a diagnostic laboratory, and it provides testing and diagnosis for various areas in the field of laboratory medicine. From the chemical pathology, which is my specialty, he's an analytical chemist, so his specialty is there. He has a business mind because he did business as well. And we also have an analytical laboratory within. We have a soap industry within. It's all around the science, how to make things work. So that's how we've been working together as a team. But however, we felt that if the business is going to grow, the population in Sierra Leone is small. What we see is a mushroom and fragmented businesses in healthcare. Is it possible? It was in our minds. Is it possible to come together? It was difficult. But however, when it was flagged by USAID, and the government is also looking at to say that the public-private partnership would be the only way forward in ensuring that we have a proper health care. So they formulated and they held a workshop. And out of that workshop, we went from 2001 to look at to understand the concept, to understand what it means to come together as a team, and to see what it would lead to.
And also the outcomes.
And the outcome. So, and partners were there, and they favored it because majority, as we know, all over the world, I think it's an average of about only 50% that can be of healthcare being provided by the public. The rest is provided. The other 50 is almost like the a private healthcare system. So the Federation was born in terms of being a member of I was co-chair of the technical working group, and then now 2 years later, we formulated the Federation. We had a meeting of all businesses that were into healthcare. But we have to be careful because Sierra Leone is a low-income country, and we have a lot of healthcare business, but because they're doing it by themselves on a solo basis, we have to bring them together. So we are really at the start of that one.
So are you only in the private sector, or are you also in the public sector?
Oh, I'm crossing. If I'm in the university, I'm in the public sector.
Okay, yeah.
It's a government university. I'm at the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences.
Okay.
And then I own my own business as well, which is Ramsey Medical Laboratory. But incidentally, because we've done our children, we taught our children to say that you have to have an investment in life. You cannot depend on the public sector alone. You have to have an investment. So my son, who's a medical doctor, he's done some courses in business management. So he's now running the Ramsey Medical Laboratories, which is 36 years old. We've had that for 36 years. And we have custom-made buildings, and one in the capital district and the other one in the southern province. So he's doing that. My daughter, who's a specialist gynecologist, has a whole gynecologist outfit with patients and a mini hospital that she's running. So we're trying to bring all of that together in terms of a collaboration for the public health, public-private health federation. Yeah.
I know you have such a busy schedule.
Very busy.
And you know, when I look at everything, I'm just like, how do you manage with your schedule? Like, do you use some days to be here, to go there after? How do you do that?
Well, sometimes I think that's where the instinct of motherhood comes in. Whatever I do, I try to groom.
Okay.
Now that I'm here, there are other meetings going on, and I have delegated it to other people to go. So, for instance, when if it's in the private side, as I said, my son is now there, my daughter is available, the engineer is available for the analytical, the lawyer, if we have an M&A, she's available. So we delegate. In the public sector, in the university, I have heads of department. These are young, vibrant colleagues. And they have been delegated, they've been given duties to do apart from their academic duty, but also administrative duty. So these are how we just delegate. I cannot be in everywhere. So I select meetings that I go to, which I have to have an impact, but also ensure the younger one is on board to learn as I transition out, because sooner or later I would like to retire.
I really want to know what are the disadvantages of this. Because I can imagine it's not easy at all.
Not at all. The biggest disadvantage of it is the not having a time for yourself. Because even when you delegate, you still have to monitor and follow up at this point in time. Because I'm from the old school where we work and work and work and work and work. But at the same time, I think spending so much time in the United Kingdom has allowed me to know that if you do not delegate, then you do not have a transition, and you do not have a transition plan, nothing is sustainable. After you go, it's finished.
Yes, true.
So I'm still trying to put things together. So sometimes I have to wake up early. When I wake up from very early in the morning prayers, I start to work. And one of the big disadvantages that sometimes when you're working with younger folks, you sort of overburden them, because I wake so early and I work till late, and they want to have their time to chill, and they want to have their time just like yourself to go around. So sometimes you overburden them with work. So I'm trying to navigate to say, hey, this is their cutoff time. Let them do their thing. I can continue because maybe I have time.
Wow.
So that's the biggest, is time management is the biggest disadvantage.
If you had something to share with us about yourself, about your career, about everything you've learned throughout the years, what are you going to tell the population?
My biggest thing is be God-fearing. Be true to yourself. You're not there to receive the accolade. If you're able to, bring a lot of people so all of you receive the accolade. And when you work as a team, you do not need to be agreeable in everything. You do not even need to like each other, but you need to respect each other. So it's about respect, God-fearingness. For me, the center of my life is my religion, and it teaches me that whatever I like to do, should be the thing that I'd like for another person. And and because, as you know, in Islam, we pray 5 times a day. So my time that I have for myself, I know I have to break and pray at that time. So that 5-10 minutes gives me a little bit of time. But it's not so for the younger folks. So what in a nutshell, I think your religion should come first. Your religion is part of yourself, not part of anything about yourself. Your relationship with God. And then you work as hard as possible when you're young. Try to finish. Get a finish. Wow. Finish. Do not leave things undone.
It's so
difficult. Then you have so many things. Focus and finish. If you have so many things to do, and then you have to be in a position to evaluate, would I be able to finish all of these? No or yes. But if no, which one of these can I finish? Which one are the low-hanging fruit? Which one can I finish that would create an impact? So you go for that, and you finish it.
If there's a choice you would have to make again, which choice would it be?
Very little. I think I have been lucky to what I study is what I do. I have been lucky that I have a family. I've been lucky that I have health. It's not easy. I have a home. I've been married for 39 years, as you know what it is. It's home is a wave. In physics, it's a wave going up and down, oscillating. Yes. And I've been lucky for God to loan me that. So I feel privileged that I have that. I even feel privileged being here, talking, admiring you as a young person, asking me detailed questions. This is what I'd like to see. I like to see the young coming up. I like to see them confident. I like to see them taking accountability for their errors, but at the same time trying to correct it. So in a nutshell, I wouldn't change what I am today. And probably what I would have changed, I would have loved AI to be here, have been here faster, so that I can be using AI which makes things easier for me now to work. But I wouldn't change much because I've been focused. I've had my ups and downs. I have my errors, and I've picked up myself up. I had my, and I have my good days, my bad days. But I think so far, if you have if you just count your hand, I'm healthy. I have children. I have a career. I have a home.
And we have Professor WURRIE here, and we are so happy to and lucky to have you. So we really want to thank you, Professor. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for sharing all these stories.
You're most
welcome. And thank you too for watching us. As for me, I'll just say, see you soon, and please stay healthy.